Once upon a time, nestled at the edge of a vast, sun-dappled forest, lived a sweet young girl known to everyone as Little Red Riding Hood. She earned this name from the beautiful scarlet cloak with a deep hood that her grandmother had lovingly made for her. One bright morning, her mother handed her a basket filled with fresh bread, sweet butter, and a pot of delicious honey. "Take this to your dear grandma," she said, "for she is feeling a bit under the weather. Go straight there, my dear, and do not dawdle or talk to strangers along the way." With a cheerful wave goodbye to her mother, who stood at the door of their charming cottage, Little Red Riding Hood set off on her journey. The forest was alive with the songs of birds and the gentle rustling of leaves. As she skipped along the well-trodden path, a large gray wolf with cunning yellow eyes emerged from behind a thicket of trees. "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood," he said, his voice smooth and friendly. "And where are you off to so early in the day?" Forgetting her mother's warning, she politely replied, "I'm on my way to my grandma's house on the other side of the woods. She's not feeling well, and I'm bringing her some treats to help her feel better." A devious idea sparked in the wolf's mind. "How very thoughtful of you," he crooned. "Look at all these beautiful flowers growing in the meadow. Why don't you pick a lovely bouquet for your grandma? I'm sure it would brighten her day." Little Red Riding Hood thought this was a wonderful suggestion. As she happily strayed from the path to gather a vibrant bunch of wildflowers, the cunning wolf saw his chance. With a wicked grin, he turned and raced ahead, taking a secret shortcut through the dense trees. He moved with incredible speed, his paws barely making a sound on the forest floor, his mind set on his wicked plan. In no time at all, he arrived at the quaint little cottage where Grandma lived, tucked away in a quiet clearing. He crept up to the wooden door and listened for a moment before giving a soft knock. "Who's there?" called Grandma's weak voice from inside. The wolf disguised his voice, making it high and sweet. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," he squeaked. "I've brought you some bread and honey to make you feel well." Delighted, Grandma called out, "Just lift the latch and come in, my dear. I'm too weak to get out of bed." The wolf needed no further invitation. He burst into the room, and in one terrifying gulp, he swallowed the poor old woman whole. Then, he quickly put on her nightgown, her frilly cap, and her spectacles. He scurried into the bed, pulled the covers up to his chin, and waited. Soon, Little Red Riding Hood arrived, her basket in one hand and a beautiful bouquet in the other. She noticed the door was ajar and felt a strange sense of unease. As she approached the bed, she peered at the figure lying there. "Oh, Grandma," she said, "what big eyes you have." The wolf, in his disguised voice, replied, "All the better to see you with, my dear." She stepped closer. "And Grandma, what big ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my dear." "But Grandma," she whispered, "what big sharp teeth you have." With a terrifying roar, the wolf declared, "All the better to eat you with," and lunged from the bed, swallowing her whole as well. Just at that moment, a brave woodsman was passing by the cottage on his way home. He had heard a great commotion and a terrible roar, and he suspected something was terribly wrong. Axe in hand, he burst through the door to find the big bad wolf, fat and sleepy after his enormous meal, snoring loudly in Grandma's bed. The woodsman knew at once what had happened. With great courage and skill, he confronted the beast, and with one swift motion of his trusty axe, he cut the wolf open. To his amazement, out popped Little Red Riding Hood, followed shortly by her grandma, both shaken but completely unharmed. Overjoyed and relieved, the three of them shared the treats from the basket, celebrating their narrow escape. From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood never forgot her mother's advice and always stayed on the path, never again speaking to strangers in the woods. And they all lived safely and happily ever after.